Hello guys, hope you guys are doing super fine because I do. So in today's video, we're gonna discuss about AOC and how she got in trouble this week. Or can we say like at the end of last week, because she voted against a bill that was presented by a fellow Democrat Party member, and so the progressives now felt that she was betraying the party. We are gonna get deep into that and investigate as to why Democrats' favorite child went against them, and now what are the implications or what is the result of that. Is AOC getting kicked out of the Democrat Party, or is it just a mishap that will soon die down? Let's get straight into the video.
Democrats have officially turned on their darling poster child, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
This right here is exactly why the Democrats will continue to struggle going forward.
And I know that whether you're standing up in this room or you're walking down the street, there are little trans kids that look at you and say, there's a future possible for me.
There is no such thing as a trans kid. There are kids that are confused. There are kids that suffer gender dysphoria and need mental help, but they are not trans. This is why Democrat politicians like AOC will never be taken seriously. You cannot sit here and say you know all this different stuff about running the country and trying to be president one day, and then sit there and also say that kids can change their gender. Them pushing that ideology is super harmful to children. Parents that vote see that. And as long as Democrats keep supporting this crazy idea, something that should just be complete common sense, they are never going to get anywhere or get any kind of power back.
So what is going on with AOC? Since her being elected in 2018, she has been a notable leader of the progressive movement in the Democratic Party. As we also know, the majority of the progressive movement right now is speaking out against U.S. funding for Israel as it continues its genocide against the Palestinian people. Now, in a strange twist, on Friday, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene proposed an amendment to the House Defense Appropriations Bill that cut funding to Israel's missile defense funding. Now, this amendment did ultimately fail. It only garnered 6 votes in support. Those votes were from Marjorie Taylor Greene herself, of course, Representative Thomas Massey, as well as Representative Al Green, Summer Lee, Representative Ilhan Omar, and Representative Rashida Tlaib. Now, we know most of these names, aside from Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massey, who we know are Republicans. Those other 4 names are pretty prominent progressive Democrats, with one notable exception, that being AOC. And she's received a lot of backlash for this. As you can see, she posted this, I believe on X as well as Blue Sky, which shows her vote. Now, the only problem is this is the bill itself. It is not on that amendment. Yes, AOC voted against the bill itself, but she did not take the opportunity to vote against the actual amendment that was proposed. Now, with that being the case, we can see why many find this post misleading. She also posted and made this statement. Now, you can pause to read, but many people are criticizing this statement, saying that it really doesn't make sense. Limiting Israel's defense capabilities or defense funding does limit their military capabilities overall, thus having an impact on the Palestinian people. It also, if they can't rely on funding from the U.S. for their own defense, they may be less likely to be targeting and bombing other countries. Now, overall, this was a very strange decision and follow-up from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Some have speculated that maybe she didn't want to align herself with Marjorie Taylor Greene, and others have said that she may have been forward-thinking about fallout from voting for this amendment for her future political ambition. Now, to wrap it up, the purpose of this amendment was to make a statement. I don't think Marjorie Taylor Greene expected it to pass, nor did anyone who did vote for it. But it was an explicit opportunity to say that I do not support the funding of a genocidal state. So for her, as a leader of the progressive movement, to not take this opportunity and to not give a clear or even understandable reason why really doesn't make any sense at all.
There are consequences consequences to ripping up law-abiding, dutiful, undocumented people from their country.
Law-abiding, undocumented law.
Are you telling me that this is the AOC that is the leader of the Democrat Party, the one that is the highest ranking every time they are doing a poll? Yeah, law-abiding, undocumented people from the country. Those two things don't deserve to be in the same sentence. Law-abiding and undocumented should never be in the same sentence. I am so sorry to inform you this. This is absolutely unconscionable. The gaslighting and the lies and the propaganda that is being spread by these people. And every time they are doing a poll, she is ranking it. She is always on the top. She's always leading in terms of favorability within Democrats. The woman that thinks undocumented people are following the law, and the same one that said that there are 3 chambers of Congress. Remember that? Remember when she said that there are 3 chambers of Congress? But I guess this is what you get when you audition for a political position. This is what people voted for. While her entire district is surging in crime, she is on TV giving speeches and so on and so forth, equating being in this country legally to undocumented people, literally slap in the face to every legal immigrant out there.
Chat, you know the funniest thing is, if you think about it, the Democrat Party doesn't seem to have a leader. You know, when they went to campaign and you knew that the leader of the Democratic Party was definitely Kamala Harris, well, right now, she has gone silent. It seems like she has gone to exile or wherever she is. Or wherever she is, she's just enjoying herself and she's not involving herself in politics anymore. So the Democrat Party has just been progressing ahead without any form of leadership or someone who party supporters would finger point and say that that is the leader of our party. And for the longest, someone would imply that AOC has taken that title. And for the longest, she has been leading and she has been against bills that are presented by conservatives in the Congress, and also she has been very vocal against Donald Trump and his policies. And for the longest, people have been trusting that AOC is going to be the leader of the Democrat Party and she's going to vie for presidency come the next general election. But what she did the previous day was very shocking. To me, I feel like there is 2 ways of thinking about it. Either AOC has an independent mindset where she can vote for things she can believe in, or she is just a classic political leader who votes in favor of what favors them. For me, I really do think that she has lost a lot of support from the Democrat peoples, and therefore she's gonna face a huge backlash going forward, a shift in leadership, endorsement, and also lack of trust among the party's members. And so she's going to face a very hard time going forwards. But isn't this what politics is all about? Betrayals, trust issues?
Liberals, are you still going to keep fighting leftists when they warn you about the problematic behavior of our politicians? Here is your proof right here. Little Miss AOC, who shows up for the photo op when Mahmoud Khalil was released from ICE detention center, pretending to be in solidarity with Palestinians, when she refuses to do the one thing in her power that she can do. You keep infantilizing these politicians, acting like they have no impact, but when they have the chance to make an impact, like cutting funding to Israel, they still won't do it. It's time we start holding these liberal Zionist politicians accountable. Being a liberal Zionist is not acceptable because that means no matter what, you are always in favor of the elimination, the death, the killing, and the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians for Israel to exist. If you continue to shout about Israel's right to exist, you don't give a fuck about Palestine. Zionism should not exist, point blank, period.
After an absolutely brilliant political move by Marjorie Taylor Greene caused AOC to lose support with the entire Democrat base. And the outrage is so severe that Democrats vandalized AOC's New York congressional office and also heckled her at a recent town hall, going as far as calling her a war criminal. This is just a continuation of the downward death spiral the Democrat Party is on, after they completely isolated all the moderates in their party party embraced all the radical ideologies. And now the radicals that control their party are engaging in violence against other Democrats because they're angry they're not radical enough. As always, like the video and subscribe to the channel. You guys have been showing so much support on my videos. Every time you guys hit the like button, it does so much to help my channel grow. So thank you for that. Keep up the support. But let me show you guys the news from last night that AOC's New York office got vandalized by radical Democrats.
An investigation is underway after someone vandalized Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's campaign office in the Bronx.
Yeah, someone dumped red paint on the roll-down gate with a sign that says AOC funds genocide in Gaza. Eyewitness News anchor Joe Torres is live in Westchester Square with more on that investigation. Joe.
Lauren, there is considerable and widespread agreement here in Westchester Square that no matter what political position you might have, your stance, what side of the aisle, if you're looking to make a statement, this is not the way to do it, through vandalism and the defacing of public property. According to police, it was about 12:40 this morning when this vandalism happened. And
so the reason this is happening to AOC is because she voted against a piece of legislation brought to the floor by Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I'm going to break down why this was such an incredible political move by Marjorie Taylor Greene. Her bill proposed that the United States stop sending $500 million a year to Israel to help support its Iron Dome. And that's the missile defense system that's supposed to stop all of these terrorist-launched rockets from hitting inside of Israel. Now, the reason this was so brilliant and why it's divided the entire Democrat Party is this. Marjorie Taylor Greene knows that the Democrats hate two things. They hate Israel and they hate MAGA. So what she did is propose a bill that was completely symbolic. It had no chance of ever passing. The point was to give the Democrats a chance to put their money where their mouth is. Are they going to vote in favor of this bill and be able to give that red meat to their base? Or will they oppose the bill simply because it was proposed by a MAGA congressperson? Do you stand with the people you're labeling Nazis and fascists and threat to the democracy because your hate for Israel is that strong? Or will they vote against it because that would be bipartisanship with Nazis, and that would destroy any moral high ground that you claim to have? But by doing that, you're voting to continue giving Israel money, who they also claim are committing genocide against the Palestinians. Again, this was totally symbolic. It had no...
Classic AOC. I'm being victimized. I'm being lied about. How dare you say I want to fund their military spending when it's exactly what she did. And then at the end, she just randomly implies that Marjorie Taylor Greene is a Nazi as though that's relevant and that nobody on the left should want anything to do with her, when four of her much more courageous colleagues just voted with Marjorie Taylor Greene because they agree with her, regardless of what they think of her. Every classic AOC tactic: self-victimization, whining, making herself the victim, calling people Nazis. Anyone who criticizes her is lying in bad faith. Zero willingness to say, I understand why you're angry. I get the argument. No, none of that. She can't even give an inch, not even to her own most faithful supporters. She's grown out of the left. She's willing to let the left vote for her, but she doesn't care about the left at all. She has her eyes on much bigger prizes. It's why she loves going on Face the Nation or CNN or whatever, but never any of the left-wing podcasts that help put her into office. She, in her mind, is Senator Ocasio-Cortez or House Speaker Ocasio-Cortez. She's Nancy Pelosi, basically. The morphing is very clear. I'm not saying it's complete. She's still missing the huge insider trading driven massive stock portfolio, although I have no doubt in some way wealth is coming her way. But she's very much on her way there, and that's the only thing that explains this.
This video may be a little controversial, but to be quite honest, I do not care. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, has been receiving heavy criticism. That's an understatement. She's been receiving death threats, and her offices have been vandalized by her supporters because she voted against Marjorie Taylor Greene's amendment to H.R. 4016, better known as the Fiscal Year 2026 Department of Defense Appropriations Act. In this amendment, proposed by the staunch supporter of the Palestinian people, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she was proposing to cut $500 million in U.S.-Israel missile defense cooperation funding, and at face value is crazy. How could she vote against this? She loves Israel. The DNC have got her. The DNC elites. Well, a huge detail that this group of supporters and Democrats are leaving out is that AOC voted against the Appropriations Act in its entirety. You just got to look at the roll call. She did not vote to fund Israel. She never voted to fund Israel. And the reason why I bring this up, even though this is public knowledge and it'll take you less than 5 minutes to find this out, is because this group of people don't actually care. They don't care about electing representatives that are going to enact a policy prescription that you agree with on the national level. They don't really care about the people in Gaza. They don't care about our bicameral legislature. They don't care about our judicial branch. They don't care about our executive branch, our government, the U.S. to begin with. This is a group of radical individuals that are calling for the violent dismantling of said system. They are inactive. They are not contributing to America whatsoever. All they do is come up on this platform and complain, preaching about this utopia instead of actually trying to make a difference and help people in America. So I'm tired of acting like this is some valid gotcha. AOC's finished. She supports Israel. She doesn't. She's not this. She hasn't been got by AIPAC. Like, stop listening to these people. But that's all I have to say. Love you. Bye.
100%, without a doubt, I would vote for AOC to be president. Still, with everything that's going on. Because I am not a liberal purist, and I'm not morally superior, and I recognize that whether we agree with it or like it or not, our politics is corrupt, and our system is broken, and as far as political candidates go, AOC is one of the few people out there that strongly advocates for minorities, for working class individuals, and is not bought out by AIPAC. So all this nitpicky BS that everybody's talking about when she has never backed Israel, when that is not even an issue, and you guys are jumping on board, siding with Marjorie Taylor Greene, of all people, and thinking she's right. Like, I get that you don't want to be like MAGA supporters and just blindly follow somebody, but like, pick your battles. Like, is this really the hill you want to die on? Even Obama had flaws, but that doesn't mean he wasn't a good president. Like, what is with the liberals' need to have everybody be perfect and they never do anything against what I believe? Get over yourselves.
Well, AOC can breathe knowing that she still has some followers who actually advocate for her, who actually still want to support her. Before we even go into that, I just remembered something. You remember previously when Ilhan Omar was very vocal and you would think that she was going to be somewhere up there in the Democrat leadership? But she messed around because she was strongly, like her views were so strong that it went to a point that she was kind of delusional. And so it seems like people realized that and kicked her and her intentions to hold a bigger office, and her name just was thrown into oblivion. After that is when AOC became so vocal, people started loving her, and she was becoming a flag bearer to the Democrat Party. Well, it seems like there is no 100% perfect politician in either MAGA side and also the Democrat side, and it's a difficult one still when people cannot understand that people can make mistakes. But can we count what AOC voted for as a mistake, really? That I'm gonna leave it up to you. But also, we're gonna have to have a quick flashback as to when Representative Sanders and Lieberman also went against their parties and almost did what AOC has done over here. This would actually mean two things or three things. AOC is quickly losing institutional backing. Also, it means that going forward, she is at a threat of losing also committee backing, that is majorly from her Democratic Party. Third thing is that she might lose ground if she does not go there and talk to the people. It seems like power is getting into her head and she's hanging around in high offices, in high places, and forgetting like where she came from or the places that elevated her to the position she is. Just as other politicians with the past and going forward, AOC seems to be plunging into that pool. She needs to realize that as quick. A good leader should be charismatic. A good leader should be visionary. Vision would always sell. I think that attacking another politician from the other side in order to get the position that that politician is right now is kind of outdated, and what really matters is how visionary you are. At least sell the people the vision, sell the people what you want to do, and to that you can add a pinch of the trolls. You might be good to convince people that you are fit for office, convince people that you are fit to lead the party, convince your own party members by the numbers, by the people who support you, by the voices in the ground. If they see that so many people are supporting you regardless of what you've done, then that means that ideally they have no other ways. They have to back you up for the sake of their party, because the Progressive Party has to win the next election, or else it's gonna be a difficult one still. I feel like the changes that President Trump and his administration have made, the Democrat side really want to change that, and they're just waiting for the elections. For those who are vandalizing the offices of people who go against their views, I think it's not the right thing to do. I feel like people should wait for the election, or maybe if there is a section of the constitution where it supports recalling of senators or the representative, that would actually be the right move, like doing it the right way rather than doing it in an old-fashioned way, in an uncivilized manner. Think of it that the few months that have passed, AOC has been very vocal about immigrants and how they have rights and how they should be allowed to be staying in the United States. And to think that some of these immigrants come from countries like Palestine, Gaza, they come seeking for refuge, and how voting against kinda that, many people would say it's very hypocritical, and they would doubt, like, are you in our side or are you just flowing with the vibe? As one who supports your party, you should have to think beyond the box. Is your representative really in favor of what you believe in? This issue has made so many people doubt AOC's fitness in leading the Democrat Party, and I'm here for it. We're gonna dig deeper into this matter in future and see what happens. Would she really be kicked out of the party, or it's just one of those? Because I really do think that whoever brought that bill into the house, it's like he or she set a landmine and AOC walked over it. Has it blown her political career? Partly. So I'm really waiting to hear your opinions and thoughts about this whole issue. Do you think AOC's political career is over and out, or is it just one of those that she's not an angel? Sometimes she might fall and she needs to wake up. You express your thoughts in the comment section down there below. Also, don't forget to check the original creators. Their usernames have been embedded in the Stitch videos as always. Go on to their TikToks, follow, like for this channel, smash that huge thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notification so that you may not miss my next upload. And with that, guys, let me meet you in the next one. Peace.